Good evening, folks. This is Bob C-Gar coming to you from my studio in Springfield, Oregon, which is, yes, lawn chair in front of my garage. This is breaking news. I'm coming at the 7 o'clock prime time hour, bringing you the latest and greatest up-to-date opinions that mean nothing to anybody but me. For those wondering, today I'm smoking I think it's called an Oliva or Oliva. Tastes pretty good. Good cigar, shorty. Not going to be on here long because I'm going to stay really focused and talk about one thing and one thing only. And that would be Mr. Jeffrey Epstein. I was a big proponent of Pam Bondi, big proponent of Kash Patel, big proponent of Dan Bongino, and I really felt like these were the people that we could bank on getting the truth out of, and that they would really do their due diligence and give us a rundown on Mr. Epstein. It's not looking that way at all. It's looking like they're stoolies. They're pigeons. They sold out. And I think they sold out, and I hate to say it, but I think they sold out because Trump told them to. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to be saying that. They're going to say, hey, Trump was on the list. He couldn't release it. You know, they got video of Trump, da-da-da. I don't think that's necessarily true. In fact, I really don't think that's true. But what I do think is true is Trump wants to bring all this investment into America. Today he was saying 15 trillion. Let's say it's 10 trillion, say it's 12 trillion. That's a ton of money. And those people are probably all connected because Epstein was connected. And they probably all have people in their circles that were involved in all that Epstein stuff, and they don't want it exposed. And I think Trump, and this is just all speculation, but I think Trump probably is looking at that like, as bad as it is, nobody's going to go to jail. They're not going to do anything with these. And we can turn this whole thing upside down, and we can expose some people. But they'll say that the statute of limitations is run, whatever. They're all going to get off, and we're going to lose all that, those trillions of dollars of investment. And he probably just thinks it's not worth it. As bad as that is, I understand it. But what I will say is, if you're going to go down that road and you're going to play this game that, well, there was no Epstein client list, well, you know, Pam Bondi said there was tens of thousands of hours of videotape with, you know, pedophiles. Well, then somebody needs to go to jail. Or you need to say, well, I was wrong. I lied about that. It's not true. Whatever. And then step down and be done. You resign and you're done. Because, and if it is true, then they need to go after some people. But I think that you probably have people who have burned videos that, you know, I mean, I don't mean made them, I mean torched them. The people are probably already highly protected, and the more they dig into this, the more malfeasance they're going to find. And I think they don't want to unravel that piece of yarn. But I feel sorry for the victims, and I feel sorry for parents of victims. I feel sorry for people that were, you know, used. But there could be a case of kind of like this whole Diddy thing. It looks to me like the wheels are coming off of that. When you have somebody who says they were raped and gets paid millions of dollars for it, and then had casual sex with the guy they said raped her the next day, people get pretty skeptical. People get pretty. People are. They have a hard time buying all that stuff. They have a hard time buying that stuff. And I'm not saying it isn't true. I'm not saying that somebody could be raped. But I just don't think you could have casual sex with your rapist the next day. I mean, rape's a pretty violent crime, I just don't see it. Now, maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe I know I'm old-fashioned. I said I was going to stick to the script, so I will. But here's what I say. I say that if you're going to go down the road of Epstein killed himself, and I think probably 97% of America doesn't believe that. If you're going to go down the road that Epstein didn't have a client list, I think probably 97% of America don't believe that. But if you're going to go down that road and you're going to say the case is closed and we got nothing, it's all over. He killed himself and there's no client list and books are closed, then you better let that Ghislaine Maxwell out, because she is serving time for basically enabling and precipitating, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but, ringleader to, child crimes. And if you got no victims, then why is she in jail? And you can't have any victims if you don't have a client list, because somebody had to do it. So if nobody's going to go to jail for it, she shouldn't either. As much as I think she's a despicable person, and I think that's not justice. It's stupid. All she is a scapegoat, and that's not right. You want to make a case because here's the thing, they got her in jail, so they had a case. She was convicted. So who was the perpetrator of the case she got convicted of? Who was the perpetrator? Who was the one that, did that to a kid? Why isn't that person in jail? And why don't we know about who that person is? I understand you want to keep the victims' names quiet or whatever. You want to protect them. And who got all the money out of the Epstein, out of his, what's that called? When you die, you leave inheritance. Well, who got all of his money? It wasn't his brother. There was, they confiscated a ton of money to give to victims. So, there has to be a crime. So don't tell us there wasn't a list, because we're not buying it. Don't tell us that he didn't kill himself, because we're not buying it. If you were to come out and say, look, there's a list, we don't know if he killed himself or not, we would say we think the evidence demonstrates that he did kill himself, but no one knows for sure, because no one saw it. As far as the list, yeah, there's a list, and it's being suppressed, and it's going to be suppressed. And the reason it's going to be suppressed is because we want to protect victims, and because we think everybody is past the I said it earlier, now I can't think of it, but where they can be prosecuted. I know you're all saying to me, screaming it at me, idiot. All right, so what? Scream louder. Anyway, statute of limitations. There you go. See? So boy could pull it out once in a while. Okay. So just say that. Say, you know what? And the reason we're not going to let any of this out is because we want to protect the victims. They've been paid. They want to live their lives, and we're gonna write this thing off, and we don't want to affect the prosperity of America, and we think that it's in America's best interest to let this go. But we are gonna pledge to be on top of this kind of stuff more, so that when we do get accusations, this kind of stuff, it's going to be tracked down and followed, and there won't be a statute of limitation running out. We will take care of it. We are the FBI. We are, the DOJ, and we're going to prosecute cases, and we're going to be on it. But this one, it happened too long ago, and we can't do anything about it. And as far as being able to prove that he killed himself or he was murdered, we can't prove it because the video wasn't working. We can't prove it because the guards fell asleep. We can't prove it, but it doesn't look good, and leave it at that. And people would somewhat respect that, but to just flat out tell us he didn't do it, he didn't kill himself, that's what the files say. We don't care what the files say. We care what happened. And to say that you got Epstein's client list on your desk and you're just reviewing it, and then to later say there isn't one, come on, don't lie to us. Don't treat us like we're idiots. Give us a story we can believe. It's not like we don't want to believe you, but we ain't gonna believe that. Anyway, I hope everybody has a good night. I hope everybody had a great 4th of July. I know I did. And it's warm out. That's why you're getting me at the prime time hour instead of the regular smoke time hour. Anyway, hope everybody has a great week. Take care. Bye.